Oh, hi everyone.
Well, we're waiting.
And welcome. I've been working on this video for a while, and mostly because I want it to be accurate when you make accusations.
So what I subscribe to the idea of is basically an adaptive sight picture, where if it depends on target size, target distance, and target opportunity, whether I'm going to focus on my front sight or whether I'm going to focus on the target. The problem with a hard front sight focus too is if I were to shoot a moving target, like if Steve's going to move and I'm focusing on my front sight, there's going to be lag between him moving with my sight picture. So I'll be aiming at him, focusing on my front sight, and all of a sudden he moves a direction, and then there's lag with me following him. But if I actually focus on him with my eyeballs, I can see his body language and I can track him a lot easier if I'm actually focused on him as a moving target. So I like having the ability of doing so accurately, and so basically what I'm doing is if I have a large target like this, and I'm close, and this is going to depend on your skill level and what you're comfortable doing, instead of focusing on my front sight, I'm just going to present the pistol. I'm still aligning my sights, they're blurry, and I'm going to take shots into this. And at first it's kind of inaccurate because you're like still figuring out what your sight picture looks like when it's blurry, but after a while you can do it out to 20.
It's important to make sure that you do your due diligence.
On the wall, waiting. On the wall. 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 On the wall.
To ensure they're truthful, otherwise you shouldn't do it.
All right. It's a dead fish. You see how the gun's going up, down, and I'm losing my sight. My sight isn't just going up, 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 up. Like that's what I want. I want that predictable recoil where the gun is always just going up and then down where it needs to be. The gun is returning to where it was when I fired it. If I have that loose grip, my gun's going to go up, down. Oh, like, don't see my front sight because it's way down here now. Come back up, and then you see people like throw it high, and result in a shot way up here like I did. I did that. I did that. Like, those are bad. Those are unacceptable. Granted, it's in the head, but like maybe the head was here and I'm shooting and I send him high. So now, demo, good grip. We'll see what happens. So, good grip. The worst reload in the history of the world. But that's what we're looking for.
It's getting to the point where I've had too many conversations with people and I've run into too many of this kid's acolytes that I've just reached my saturation point with this stuff.
Shooter, stand by. Shooter ready, stand by.
And luckily, I've been able to talk to people that know stuff about it because of the way I approach them. And in the beginning of this, I'm going to tell you that T-Rex Arms claiming that he trained special forces or quote-unquote Navy team or SWAT teams or police is blatantly false.
All right, so go ahead and bring it over here, guys.
They're absolutely false claims.
I see a few things where it's like your sight alignment's a little slow, you're rattling off the 6 rounds well, maybe you got a little bit of trigger freeze because you're not manipulating the reset properly, or I have some people in here where I write down too much trigger, so we'll get into that, but you're moving your finger too much inside of the gun.
What Lucas does is he has a range, and he said, hey, 5th ODA. Well, actually, he kind of smooth talks some people into bringing them over and letting them shoot at the range. Same thing with these other cats. So he lets these guys use his range, and secretly he's got his little film crew there. They'll be using his range to do their stuff.
Because a lot of guys, they shoot and they are really slow getting that click, and then they take the shot. Or, this is worse, this is where really bad inaccuracy occurs, they take the shot when they hear the click. So they're letting the gun control when they fire, they're not controlling when they want to fire. And you'll see guys do it all the time. They'll hear the click, and then they'll immediately jam the trigger. And that will usually cause a round to go, you know, usually low, a little bit. not necessarily windage wise, just elevation, which right here, this isn't, you know, it doesn't look too bad, but at 25 this will be horrible. Like it'll be like way down here on an IPSC. So we want to try to minimize like some of this action going on right here. So we don't ever let the gun dictate when we fire. We're in full control of the gun. I'll talk about that more later, uncontrolled versus controlled and speed, and we'll do some of that. But big thing here is I can sit on this wall as long as I need to, like we just did with the timer, and not fire. I dictate when this gun fires.
No one on this planet and no one in the comments is going to tell me that Lucas knows how to do anything better than a Green Beret.
All right, you ready? Yep. Stand by. All right. So that's kind of what we're doing. Fast shooting, fast moving across. All right. So that's kind of what we're doing. Fast shooting, fast moving across.
Nothing.
If you are shooting a circle of this size, can you go much faster than this one? The answer is absolutely. Could you shoot the circle the same speed as this and have a group this big, have a group this big? Yes, you could, but that's not the point of shooting a target like this or a drill like this. If I have a large target area, I'm going to use up that target area as best as I can and speed up my speed as much as I can to the point where maybe I'm dropping one shot or I'm not dropping at all. So if my group is doing this on a target of this size, or I'm shooting a humanoid, human target, what does that mean? It means I should go faster. I have an available hit area that my group can be this and it's still in. And some people might go, oh, your group sucks. I'm like, well, it's in. It's in the objective area that I'm trying to shoot, which means I'm using my speed accordingly, and I know right where my threshold is, where I'm going to go too fast, I'm going to miss. That's why we don't always want small groups. If I'm doing a small group like this, it's great for here, especially if I'm shooting fast, but if my group's like this in this big circle, that means I actually suck. I should be speeding up and using the available target area that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate. If you guys want to...
Oh, fuck.
Shooting, fast moving.
The most he's doing and what he should have been massively content with is just hosting these people.
Big circle carbine, small circle pistol, stand by. Just bringing that dot back on target, firing those 10. If your dot goes flying off, that's fine. Pause, like don't shoot again until your dot's back in the right spot. But what we want to hear is that nice, hand me my carbine, Steve. We'll go ahead and demo this. Keeping that dot on target, getting through those 10 rounds, but it all comes down to your recoil management. Making sure this stock is nice in your body. If you're running with your stock up high, this means your support hand is going to have to work double time.